And we're visiting with Coach Logan Dollins this afternoon on the Kennett Indian Coaches Show. And Coach, you've had a lot of activity since we talked the last time. You had a win over New Madrid County Central, then you were getting ready to go play Scott City, and then you had four more games on Friday, or two on Friday, two on Saturday. So we can update that. But I'll tell you what, your team's on a good stretch of wins here.
Yeah, definitely. We picked up a quality win against New Madrid, which was a big win for us, being a district game. Started out up north, went to Scott City and played good ball there. Turned right around and played Potosi and Park Hills and got two wins. And then Saturday, the 29th, we played St. John and West County and just came out and swung the bats well, played good defense, pitched it really well, and came out on top against those two teams as well. So,
well, the last time we talked, the bats came alive a little bit against New Madrid County Central, and you said, we were just a couple of hits away, maybe that Blazer Blast looking a little different if you'd got a hit or there, two there. But early in the season, it takes a little while after these ladies have not had game action. I know they've done a lot of hitting and they've done some practicing, but not a ton of practice time before softball starts. And sometimes it takes just a few games to get everything going in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. And the goal for us is to face good pitching as early as possible. And that's what you run into in the Blazer Blast. You see teams that are, 2 or 3 weeks ahead of you. And then, the past weekend, I feel like we faced quality pitching, especially when we faced St. John and West County. They had quality pitchers, and we came out and had great approaches. And, whenever they made mistakes, we made them pay for it. I think in 5 games, I think we hit 12 home runs, just seeing the ball, squaring it up, executing the small ball game, we just did everything right. And, just proud to come out of there 5-0 and being able to continue with that on this week.
Well, you had the walk-off win against Portageville with a home run, and 14-3. That was your last game, and then the rains come in, so kind of cuts down on your practice time. I'm sure that after all those games, you might take a little bit of break, but you'll be back in action against Donovan, a team that they can be pesky, and they've had some good teams in the past.
Yeah, definitely. After Portageville, we've decided to take a day or two off, just due to weather and just trying to get our bodies back where they needed to be. But Donovan's a scrappy bunch, a team that I look forward to playing every year. I mean, I think we've got them on the schedule twice this year. So they're always a program that kind of gives us fits, gives us a great game. Last year, I think they beat us 6-4. So just having the opportunity to play them, having the opportunity to see a quality team that's well coached, that's just kind of right up our alleyway.
Well, let's talk a little bit more at this point in the season. As you just look down the schedule, and the season's flying by quickly. But you mentioned the power of your ball club. Is that more surprising? I think you knew you had the speed. You got some players that, I tell you what, they put the ball in play, and it forces the opponent to make a perfect play to get them out. But having the power that you're seeing your team display, is that a surprise to you?
No, I knew we had the potential for power. When you get Avery Payne in the lineup and Emma Tennant, and then Lindley Patterson, maybe one of the most powerful kids that I've seen in a long time. When you get those three going and hitting the way that they do, you probably I kind of knew that we were going to leave the yard. But when Hanley and Olivia Raspberry start squaring it up and hitting 2 to 3 homers apiece in a short period of time, that's the part of it where just understanding to make home runs accidents. We're not going up to try to hit a ball out of the ballpark. That's what I was so proud of. The homers that we're hitting so far haven't been just these long, majestic home runs. I bet 6 or 7 of them that we hit this past weekend maybe cleared the fence by 3 or 4 foot, So that's just telling me that their approach is I want to hit the ball hard, hit it back up the middle, and if it goes out, it goes out. If not, we'll stand on second base with a double.
Well, speed is also a very important part of your team, both at the top and Hanley leading things off. But, Bailey Wilcutt batting ninth in the order for you, left-handed hitter. And I'll tell you, when I watched her play, she just put so much pressure on the opponents, hitting from the left side and the speed that she has.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I've told everybody, she's a spark plug for our team right now. I love coming up in a new inning with the 9-1-2. I feel like we're going to score because Bailey just gives people fits. From the slap game to the small ball game, she can kind of do it all right now. I think looking at her stats right now, she's in the 9-hole and hitting 529 or 530. So when your 9-hole's hitting 530, you feel like you're in a pretty good spot. But you just overall, just her being on the base paths creates chaos, and it really opens up the game for our 1-2 behind her because we can get her running on the pitch. And, if you get a ball on the gap with her, you got a real good shot to score from first base. So.
Well, you're looking at that batting order, Hanley, McAtee, of course, leading things off. And, McKeag batting second, that number 2 spot is so important. But when you have someone like Bailey Wilcutt in the 9th position, that makes Hanley McAtee be your number 2 hitter and really turns things around and puts pressure. And I noticed that your 7, 8, and 9 part of the order kind of was your spark plug against Portageville the other night. Several innings, they came up and ended up being big innings because of what they did.
Right, and that's where we've been so good this year so far. Is the back half of our lineup has really picked us up, and when you get runners on base in that 7, 8, 9 spot, well, you've got to pitch differently to the 1, 2, and 3. You're going to see more than likely see a lot more fastball counts. And for us, whenever you have to come and attack us, we feel pretty good that we could get a barrel on the ball at some point. So, the end of our lineup being on base, whether that's through base hits, walks, HBPs, the small ball game, it just really allows our lineup to roll over, and that's the ultimate goal is to be able to get to the top of our lineup as much as possible, because that's going to lead to scoring more runs.
Of course, defense a big part of the game too, and it seems like we don't talk about defense a lot unless it's not going very well. But your team has been playing some good defense, and I know for you and also Coach New when we talk on the baseball, coaches show, when you put a pitcher in, that spot has to be filled and someone has to move around. So you've got several players that are flexible and able to play several different positions.
Yeah. Hanley being one of them, she can play about anywhere on the field. But just for instance, I had the opportunity to kind of throw a different lineup out the other night, and Olivia Raspberry was the DP. Had to make a pitching change and moved her straight out to second base. Hadn't played in 3 or 4 innings, and the next play was a bunt and a great bunt that was shown, and Emma Tennant came out from behind the plate, and for Olivia to rotate over and do what she needed to do, cold off of the bench, it just tells you like the kind of player that she's developing into. So between Olivia and Lindley Patterson and Hanley and, overall just our outfield in general, I felt that I've really been proud of. They're just flying around and getting after it and communicating. The energy of this bunch defensively has been something that I've been proud of personally.
I've heard a lot of coaches say, a lot of defensive mistakes are because you're not thinking ahead and of the possibilities. In a case like that where a second baseman has to cover first, it's really clear. But all the little things like backing somebody up on a throw in and cutoff positions, lots of different things when they change positions and what they have to do. That's a credit to these ladies and their intelligence and being able to think about what they need to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Something that we practice all the time, but it becomes kind of a jumbled mess when you're playing 2 to 3 different positions because, like I try to explain to them, cutoffs, depending on where the batter is, it's kind of like it's poetry in motion. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing, and for us, learning that took a little bit of time. There was a lot of questions asked, and for us, we're still trying to get better at it. But just overall, just proud of the way that their IQs are growing in the softball sense, and just embracing being able to play multiple positions. Because a lot of times coming into high school, someone says, "Hey, I'm a second baseman," and for us, I've talked to a couple of them and told them, like, you guys are hybrids. You don't know where you're going to play whenever you show up to the field. So for them to embrace it is just something that just tells you kind of a little bit about our culture right now is they're wanting to play and they're wanting to win.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the outfielders. It seems like we've been talking about infield positions, but it's nice when if a ball goes in the air, your players have the speed and the ability to catch about any ball that they can get to. And I think your outfielders do a great job of that.
Yeah. Bailey roams center field right now. And she does a great job with it. Like I said, she's kind of a spark plug on offense, but she's a game changer on defense too, because she's not scared to go make a play or make a mistake. Lexi Wallace has played tremendous for us in left field. She may be one of the best outfielders when it comes to just getting reads and jumps on balls. And then Lauren Barton's done a great job, especially with a plus arm in right field. Base knock with a runner on second, we feel like we can throw somebody out at home. So just overall, from the standpoint of them just playing hard and playing fast all the time is something that I'm proud of.
Well, Coach, hopefully this rain will move out of here. You'll get to play Donovan at home on Monday, and then it's several road games in a row. So tough stretch for your team, but you played well on the road, so I know they're going to be up to the challenge.
Yeah, it's just part of it. Being on the road is something that you got to live with, and when you have as many games as what we do, and you want to go play competition, sometimes you got to meet them halfway and or go to their field to play us. So we embrace being on the road, and we'll continue to grind out the season.
Well, all right, Coach, thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll have some softball action coming up on Monday.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Logan Dollins on the Kennett Indian Softball Show.